Hey guys, it's Hilary. It's Wednesday. I'm a little late today. Instead of 10:30, it's 12. I apologize if you were hanging out at 10:30, and I've never done that, but we had some issues in the studio with internet people showing up. So today for Teacher Space, I wanted to talk about the standing arms with the Cadillac. So I have a Gratz Cadillac, so the springs are really supportive. And I love the standing arm series here, Hug a Tree, the reverse arm circles, chest expansion, the open arms, side stretch, all of that. I love to give to the clients when it comes to that point of really getting them to connect from the feet all the way through with very little support, and having this spring go in and come out and go in and come out, and them trying to figure out how to stand. And later on, I don't know when, I'll figure it out. I'll go through the pulling in and out and the rolling standing in and out, and that really shows how this kind of it's really not about like staying and just being in control here, but really about figuring out your balance and figuring out what needs to fire and how to maintain while the spring is either giving you that feedback or that feedback's going away. So the thing I like to tell people the most is it's really not about when you're firing into that spring, because when you are firing into that spring, and this applies to lying down anything, it's easy to connect with everything. It's easy to find your feet on the floor. It's easy to feel the whole front or back line. It's when you lose that spring that your body is like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And you need to be able to connect with all that again as the spring goes away. So I really love this because it's the one of the most unsupported in terms of all you've got is your feet on the floor, right? That's it. Everything else is in space. So we won't look at all of them, but maybe just the Hug a Tree version, or maybe the boxing version. The boxing version might be good. We'll do that one. But I always tell people when we set up for this, we're just gonna like figure it out. As a teacher, you know, you can see your client kind of go way out there and know it's not gonna happen. So I want to have enough feedback spring where it feels like they're just gonna get tossed back, but they're able to stay grounded. I had a student going through my teacher training. She had the best visual imagery, which I loved, and she said, I feel like I'm a tree and my roots are just grounded into the ground. So I love that one. So we all learn from everybody, right? So with arm springs, I'm gonna turn my watch around because I'll call emergency services here. You wanna have your heels together, and I'm gonna start pretty close just to kind of show you, but let's think. If I'm doing boxing, there's nothing here yet, but I'm gonna lean into my spring. So as I lean in, I feel like I wanna fall. So I kind of want to be in that position, especially for boxing. I tell them, we want to keep the heels really connected to each other, not only to each other, but into that ground. So there's your tree. If you think I'm a tree, my roots are grounded into that floor. I'm going to lean into the wind a bit. And I want it to be where when I punch one arm forward, I can reach all the way without flinging back. So I'm going to have to step back a little bit. So I have no spring support here. So my legs and feet are really having to press into that floor. And as you push one arm, you can feel how your body wants to twist this way, right? So as they're working through these, I want it to be enough where they can maintain and stay leaning into the wind, especially as we lose this and not pitch forward. And as they press forward, feeling like this side now, that right side has that spring. So this left side just wants to kind of come on over, right? So they've got to really fire into that left leg. And then as the left arm goes, they've got to really fire into that right because they have nothing there for feedback. Otherwise, they're just going to come spinning this way. If you step out really far, then as they press forward, that's going to happen, right? And if they're too close, they're going to pitch forward. So it's really about finding, and we'll go into Hug a Tree. It's really about finding that position. So Hug a Tree in the same spot, I don't care if their arms come all the way together because that's not really my focus. My focus is that they're maintaining, leaning into the wind, they're maintaining that push into the ground, they're maintaining everything where they are. But it's a challenge for that movement to not move, flexion, extension, everything like this. And as you think about it, when we go to the pedipole and we do work on the pedipole, it's kind of the same thing, but they have the feedback of that pull to really fire into as they do all their movements there. So here, again, less support. And then you can even go into, and the one I love, especially when you get into kind of thinking about the Wanda chair and that going up front, right? So the scissoring of those legs. So if you do the boxing with their foot forward a bit, and it can be both arms or one arm at a time. So in order to make this happen, those legs have to kind of scissor together to grow tall, scissor together to not let the hips kind of go funky. And again, you can do the alternating or the one arm at a time, but it makes it a little more challenging because now, again, less support, and they've got to really scissor into those legs, which is what you're looking for when you go into that going up front on the Wanda chair. And that's one thing I love about Pilates is just how, even though the going up front and the lunging on the Wanda chair is a totally different exercise, your arms are, wherever they are for your client, it's the same engagement that you're having as you're doing that here with the standing arms. So those are things you can kind of reference back. Also, it's a good test of their balance, right? Because they're going to get into that totally unsupported area there. So I think when it comes to the standing arms and connecting to all those things, like, even the hundreds and the push and the reach of your legs, that's there. It's so easy to just take little things from the mat, from here, from there, and apply it there. And then reference it when you go into the work of, like, your push-up, just referencing back. Remember when you were doing the standing arms, reach those legs. Even though you're in this position, you're still reaching your legs that way. So anyway, that was just a little bit on the standing arm series. Happy to go deeper into it if you want. Just DM me or whatever. But sorry I was a little late today, but I got here, and that's it. Standing arms on the Cadillac. If you don't have the growth springs and yours are maybe a little lighter, then just move them out more and get them to really feel, or if it's balanced body, maybe the purple springs or something that really makes it feel like when they fire into it, they've really gotta connect so that they can really, thank you, Bethany, there's the studio, but make them really connect, because basically for me, it's really watching that they are able to fire into that spring, connect, lose that spring, and keep that connection. So anyway, enjoy your Wednesday, and I'm sending lots of love and hugs to everybody, and hopefully we'll cross paths in real life soon. But be safe out there and give love to everyone you meet, smile at everyone you meet, and just be a bright light for someone today. Bye. Enjoy your day.